our next topic, which is the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer.
It's fine.
I didn't even watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see the trailer.
You know, this was my reaction. Not my reaction. So I decided to watch it for the first time, or the second time, I should say, with a couple people, and I was like, "Hey, let me toss on the new trailer." Like, oh, it dropped. So they watched it. They're like, "Oh, when does this season drop?" And I was like, "Yep," because it looks like a TV series. It looks like a TV show, and again,
which I haven't got a problem with. Like,
I don't have a problem with it.
Like a TV show. It's just I find it so funny they've made this massive thing as a movie, and it's just a long TV show.
Yeah, it's like because I like with Ricardo, I didn't really like watch the trailer because I was hearing it from other people, especially like with Army, where it's just
he's watching
you can tell. It's like it's just more Mando and Grogu.
So besides Jared, only one other person on my entire friends list shared this, and they also said, "I'm excited to watch this on Disney Plus." I think the optics.
Wait, does it look like a Disney Plus show?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
it's literally just Mandalorian.
They scouted locations for season 4 and decided not to do season 4 and do the movie.
Oh, the good old Demon Slayer tactic.
Scouting locations always works. For TV series is cheaper than a movie. I think it kind of shows in this. But before we get into the rest of it, our Star Wars correspondent Jared, what did you?
Oh, here we go.
Debate.
So that was good. So we talk about this on Knights of the Nerd Republic about, it kind of still feels, it's still looking like the TV show. And I think that's kind of like been the unspoken question about Mando and Grogu is how is the show going to look? And especially with Jon Favreau in the director's chair, what I think is kind of going understated is that I don't think it necessarily looks low budget like a TV show so much as that like there's a lot of visual continuity in aesthetic and framing. Like I think a lot of us were expecting for some reason that the lighting and the blocking and a lot of that stuff was just going to feel different because now we're operating in a big screen setting and we're not like we are, but like that those other things haven't changed. And I think it's going that extra step to make it feel like this is the Mandalorian, but the next big step for it. I also think based on the trailer, like what's shown, they're obviously hiding a lot of stuff. And I think they're hiding the things that make you go, hot damn, this is a movie. This is a big screen event. I think they're actively trying to keep that kind of in their quiver for now. And I think a lot of what is shown is trying to appeal to our, hey, you love this, get ready, it's back, and it's going to be bigger than ever. And I think there's something intentional to that because as the scenes are getting bigger is when that like aspect ratio change starts to happen with this is the way. I think that by the time we get like a full trailer that will talk about the story finally, because I know we're all dying for actual story details, we'll be like, oh, look at that. I wasn't at Star Wars Celebration. I saw that footage from the AT-AT fight. That does not look like the TV show.
Right. Yeah.
And like if we have more things to look forward to outside of just that like oneer inside of the AT-AT carapace, I think a lot of that it just looks like the show on a big budget is going to go away.
Yeah, to me, from what I'm hearing, it looks like they're just trying to get a lot of the casuals back on board. Yeah. Because of, I guess, the divisive way how Star Wars TV shows have been putting out. Because from what I've been hearing, it's a lot of care has been put into the lore heads that want to dive into, what makes a character a certain way from that particular, planet or galaxy, compared to what a casual may want to enjoy is not the lore. They may, put on a lore video once in a while if they need an explanation on some things, but they don't want to just sit there and have things either shown them how it happens or explain to them how it happens. They just want to have a fun, goofy time with the outlaw and his funny little buddy. And
does the trailer reveal Darth Maul?
No, because he's been dead for about 15 years.
You know what? Then there's no reason for me to watch this movie. What?
He's actually dead for real.
You're telling me Star Wars Rebels is a canon show? Oh my god,
Jared! Do not forget that Lucas wanted him and his, apprentice back for his sequels. That's just there is a way.
That's a yeah.
I can't even remember her name anymore. What was her name?
Talon.
You mean
Talon,
Daenerys Targaryen?
Darth Talon, a character. Again, this is one of my favorite things about George, and Dave Filoni has done so many very George things. Is that whenever George would look at the EU, what we now call Legends, he would love to just pick and choose things and be like, I'm going to do my own thing. Like the whole Darth Talon and Darth Maul. Okay, Darth Maul's back from the dead, whatever. Darth Talon is not supposed to exist for another 120 years at the time Lucas's sequels would have taken place, because she is just ripped from the far-flung future of the Star Wars EU timeline and plucked into that post-Empire period. But and I mean, I understand the lore thing. I think a lot of bad actors have made talking about Star Wars in any way that is constructive nearly impossible, because you have a lot of people, who, for the sake of the channel not catching any flack, will go unnamed. You can theorize who I'm talking about. Have kind of remade fandom discussions, especially in Star Wars, around lore, around that vague concept of lore. I've seen people talk about lore just being the story, that is on the list of cameo and words that just don't mean anything anymore. I just think that the Star Wars TV shows, they are so focused, and they're taking advantage of the fact that okay, we have the time in the sun to be we're doing this stuff, which is markedly different from Skywalker Saga storytelling, that I think people have kind of conflated having a hyper focus on one element of the Star Wars greater mythology, and they kind of shut down because they're being asked to just engage with it.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the downside to trying to get a overall audience instead of a core audience that would like that sort of things. Where, for an example, my mom, she compared it to my dad, who does like this type of stuff, but he doesn't really like the lore type. Compared it to my mother, who will sit there and watch if she has the time 5 to 6 hours on why this character acts this way, on what the environment made them to make that decision, would do that in that type of show or whatever. And it's just really hard to do, because you want to make money on this. That's the business. You want to make money. You can't just unless you were okay with the amount of money that's coming in with the niche that you're trying to cater to, you are just handcuffed in to try and grab the overall audience to get the bigger piece of the pie, than to cater to lore heads who may only pay for 1/3 of everything for the payroll. So it's just them trying to get whatever they can from that. And
looking at this trailer, I try to play devil's advocate for anything Star Wars, because I just love I love all of Star Wars, really. Even my least favorite project, which is Episode 2, I can still watch it and get a good time out of it, knowing I don't really like that project because of some of the other stuff that's in it, like Jango Fett and all that. Yeah. So Mando and Grogu, when I watch this trailer, I'm inherently excited because, again, it's more Star Wars. And to me, the best anything Disney has produced on Disney Plus is season 1 of Mando. I have seen those episodes probably well over 6 times each, if not more. Season 1 to me is perfection in the way that they structured it and all that. So I'm excited for more. I just can't help but feel that this pivot that they went on 2.5, 3 years ago, when they said, no more Disney Plus, get everything out of here, that this is one of the projects that they and the timeline lines itself up with we got the next season, but we need money at the box office. We have to pivot. And this feels like the first result of that, where they weren't thinking about it in that sort of, this should be a big film produced like Star Wars, because had it been, this trailer would have been an event. This is the first trailer that's dropped for anything Star Wars, where even my dad, who the moment anything Star Wars drops calls me, he's like, we got to talk Star Wars, come over. He has no idea it dropped. And that's so weird for me. He is like the guy that got me into Star Wars. And I'm just like, something about this feels off. I can't put my finger on it.
I understand what you're talking about. It's that,
Sorry, Tristan.
like, no, just saying, like, the Mando and Grogu seems like this, the movie seems like this is just made in the short term compared to a long term gain with how everything's been turning out.
Right, yeah.
It feels like a death spiral.
Yeah, desperation, death spiral. Like they needed this, and it feels weird. I don't want to insult this, because I guarantee I'm probably going to really like this. I'm going to be there day one, no matter what. But it comes from a weird place to me. It just doesn't feel like there's an event around there like there should be for a Star Wars.
Also, I say death spiral in the Disney Plus sense, not the Mandalorian is bad and Star Wars is dying sense. Like, it's purely we're making the wrong decisions as we keep going down, even though we should be going that way.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly agree with you that I wish this was more of a to-do. Like, again, we're just shy of a decade of no Star Wars movies. I was also hoping this was going to be a bigger event. Now, granted, this is a self-inflicted wound from Disney. I think a lot of why this was not as big a deal as it should have been was the Kimmel of it all. This trailer was originally supposed to come out the Friday in the immediate aftermath of the Kimmel suspension. Like, again, like, look at that big Muppets announcement.
That was a Muppets announcement.
That's exactly my point. That there's a Muppets special, which is supposed to be a, like, basically test pilot to see if they can actually bring the Muppets back, an IP Disney's been sitting on for the better part of a decade, produced by Seth Rogen, hosted by Sabrina Carpenter. Like, that is going to be a huge event.
This sounds like you're just making stuff up.
No,
that news dropped in the same hour as the Kimmel suspension. Nobody knows about the Muppet stuff. Nobody knows about the Muppet stuff because it got fully drowned out by the Kimmel of it all. So I think Disney understood the optics of trying to do a big da da da, or I guess I should say da 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 for the Mandalorian and Grogu. It wouldn't have worked. They dropped it on a Monday. They could have very well done like the big Monday Night Football.
Yep, that's what I was expecting.
Done before. I said that. I was like, okay, if they're punting it the next week, it'll be on Monday Night Football. And it'll be like, tune in during halftime for the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. They did it for The Last Jedi. They did it for The Rise of Skywalker. Like, and those were big event trailers, and they felt like it. I think, this being our first teaser is part of why it didn't get that fanfare. I think when the first real trailer comes out, that is when it's going to be pull out all the stops. We're going all in. Monday Night Football, like, it'll be a big thing. Like, I think the first full trailer is going to be what we want it to be.
Let's be clear about this. The first full trailer is going to be attached to Avatar Fire and Ash. It's their big December film. They got that week right there. That's where you want to attach that. And I suspect fanfare will be there because the film releases in May. And, like, I can't wait to see what the actual trailer is and more finished scenes and all that, like.
You say that, but I can guarantee you, after all those people come out of that movie, they won't know what happened. Just eyes glazed over and say, "Yeah, I went there." I
say they'll have fallen asleep before the credits start because it's Avatar.
Well, I'll also say again, just because, like, I'm a little too clued in and put a little bit too much real estate on, like, the kind of cultural mechanics of fandom. Star Wars fans have a really bad habit of, like, everything is rose-tinted glasses the way you remember it. But there are legitimate moments of, like, oh, this high was incredibly high. And I think that Star Wars fans of our age are going to be chasing the dragon that is seeing the Force Awakens trailer the day
I was
after
just about to say,
for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives, we're going to chase that one teaser. That we're going to chase that high for the rest of our lives.
That was literally the moment in pop culture. That and the first Avengers trailer changed consumption of trailers and how we acted as a society with movie trailers.
So Jerry, you're telling me they're going to be chasing a high of... You remember when we first saw the trailer and we thought Finn was going to be a Jedi because he was going to fight that Sith Lord or something?
Let's not talk about Finn. Let's not talk about Finn.
Okay, I really don't want to talk about Finn because John Boyega just had mouth diarrhea this week, and that
became a Redditor.
That was embarrassing.
I met him this year. He's very sweet, but my God, no, but that first teaser, where it is just an announcement that Star Wars is back. It's the Falcon flying on Jakku. It's BB-8 rolling around. It's that shaky cam footage of the stormtroopers in the troop carrier, and then it's that iconic shot with that's not even in the freaking movie of that first time we see Kylo Ren do the stomp ignition with the lightsaber with Snoke narrating it, with there's been an awakening. Have you felt it? That. We're gonna chase the high of oh my God, it's back, because it's been back. It's been back for over 10 years now. We've had Star Wars, and I think that I know I've had this issue where it's okay, we're going back to the theater. I want it to feel as momentous as The Force Awakens. It can't feel as momentous as Star Wars Episode 7. It cannot. It physically cannot get there because the stakes are completely different. The landscape is completely different. But yeah, like I said, I think that it's coming. I think this movie has a lot of weird pop culture discussions it has to brave for it to even be given a fair shake. But I'm excited for it nonetheless.
It's also got to overcome a lot of heat that Pedro Pascal is going to get because of all his political views and posting, because that's going to be the hurdle during all that, which is unfortunate because genuinely seems like one of the nicest people in Hollywood. Straight up. But
it seems like it's like a mixture of that and for some reason now people are getting tired of seeing him in
it happens with every actor. It's no
I was gonna say so
Chris Pratt got that within 6 seconds. God damn.
If the internet existed in 2002, Ben Stiller starred in 22 films in that 1 year. But you don't know. Again, there is that the consciousness now is I'm on the internet and there's all these films and Pedro is in 3. He's in everything. Come on.
There's also with Pedro specifically, this is a thing I've seen that has driven me absolutely insane. That there are all these weird hurdles that Marvel and Star Wars as these big franchise IP whatevers that they need to clear that nothing else does. The amount of times I've been so is Pedro even going to be in this movie? And it's okay, I don't want to hear this from you. Benedict Cumberbatch is barely in Infinity War. None of you were talking about that in 2018.
Yeah.
None of you were talking about the fact that every time Strange was in the background, the back of his head, or even off to the side, that wasn't Cumberbatch. I'm sorry, a movie a story that is about a masked gunslinger. Maybe the actor isn't in the suit every single shot, but we also know from Celebration and then Collider inexplicably claiming it was an exclusive, even though they said it at Celebration, that Pedro was yeah, I'm in the suit for most of this movie because I've been looking forward to this.
Right.
It's weird stuff like that where it's a criticism that means nothing.
Jared, I think you are right because from what I've seen, there's only one interview that I could see that actually asked him, is he going to be in Doomsday? And he made the comment and says, "Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am because maybe they ran out of chairs to put around."
Yeah,
and no one gave a crap about that.
No one's ever given a crap about it for Spider-Man.
No.
Yeah.
So of course he's not in the damn suit. Look what happens when they are in the suit. You get concussed.
Yeah, but and again, it's it's a bar to clear that Star Wars has that nobody else does. Marvel has its own. Where the existence of tertiary characters showing up in other media is treated as fan service cameo slop, and it's like, no, that's just what a supporting character is. I don't know what to tell you. But like, it's the conversations that like I think a lot of people pride themselves on being able to download pseudo intellectual opinions as a way to be smarter than the material they're watching. And that deeply frustrates me. I think it speaks to an embarrassment to still like these things. It's why we don't have to go down this road completely. I'm just speaking my piece. It's why the Andor conversations frustrated me so much for so long, is that it's everybody doing their best to be like, see how much smarter this is than the other stuff. And it's like, well, I always knew Star Wars is about fighting fascism and rebellion and found family. I knew all these things. I didn't need Stellan Skarsgård to give a 5-minute monologue explicitly stating those themes. I figured that out when I was a kid. I'm glad
Jared,
all of you have become revolutionaries.
Some people are stupid, so it has to be spelled out for 5 minutes. Okay,
it's like, we're talking about the same people that didn't realize that The Boys was about them.
And they get mad because now they're the bad guys.
It's not even that. Like I'm talking about like the bedwetting liberal type of Star Wars fan.
Yeah,
who that is like that. Like I don't respect. I don't share community with fandom menace people. We're not in the same space. I don't give a damn what you think. I think you're a cancer on this fandom. It's the people who love Star Wars but insist Star Wars has to stop being Star Wars because they think they're growing out of it and refuse to let it be what it's always been. And that's also why I love this trailer, is that it is so tonally consistent with the show. Like even the poster, like it looks like a mix between like your Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, but also Western. Like it's the pulp, it's the sci-fi schlockiness, but presented as a Western. And that's what this has always been. And I'm so glad they're leaning into that tone. And I'm sorry I made this segment longer than it should have
been. It's okay, because we already know it's going to be called like woke slop, because Indiana Jones got that because he made an offhanded comment to a cat about a certain kind of a person.
That's how it goes. So here's the deal. You guys know Jared's our correspondent with Star Wars. Next time when the official trailer drops, that following, CBC, Jared will be on. We're going to talk more about the actual
You've been warned. Trailer. You've been warned. All of you can emotionally prepare to see my face.
Stay tuned. So we will be back to talk more about this. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching and have a good one.